whole idea that leasing industry should flourish here. And also we saw that the Cape Town Convention, through which the leasing industry, the compliance score which is seen across the world, that needs to be made into act. We didn't have an act, we didn't have any kind of legislation which was backing that Cape Town Convention. In December, both the houses, we have passed the bill and we have made the Cape Town Convention Act, the protection of aircraft objects, and now the compliance score for India in leasing has improved. So we are creating a presence in leasing. Now what happens with this? Now it will be easier for the companies, for the airline operators to lease planes. The cost will come down. So more people will be interested in this. This is also playing into the competition. This is also playing into creating more airlines to come into the picture. Now I also talked about MROs. Maintenance of the plane is another cost that is there. What happens, madam? We are bringing the planes. Planes I've talked about, we are bringing it from outside, from these companies. But even once you bring it, you have to maintain the plane. There is periodic maintenance. There is maintenance whenever there is any safety issue or a components issue or the engines issue. Engines issue is a very important part of the overall maintenance of the plane. And when we want to do this maintenance, what happens is usually the plane or the engine has to go back to its original OEM, which is sitting in France or Germany or one of the European countries or USA or some other country. And what is it doing? The forex cost. The cost on the airline to just send this plane or the engine, that is being borne by the passenger. And the time it takes, if you take out one plane, then it goes there, it gets maintained, it's come back, 1 month, 2 months it takes. You're losing the plane in India to be operating in those sectors. Now what we have done, we have improved the MRO business in the country. We have taken this government exactly with that idea. It has improved the whole MRO situation in the country and multiple other things like the taxes around the MRO components, how you open up the airports to have MROs. I've just seen one member also ask that you need to open up tier 2, tier 3. We are doing it. We have created the rules, we have created legislations that we open up more MROs in the country. And very proudly, I'm stating this also, recently in Hyderabad, near the GMR airport, Safran, which is an important air engine manufacturer, and many of our Airbus, they have these LEAP engines which are done by them. They have set up shop here in the country. Now we don't need to send it anywhere to France or anywhere. We can do it in our country itself. And the capacity with which they have created is 300 planes per year. 300 engines per year, which is almost every day one engine is going to be maintained. Now, lesser time for maintenance, less costs also for maintenance. If it's less cost for the airlines to maintain the plane, less costs on the passenger also. That is why MRO network is also important. MRO network is something we are clearly concentrating on. And this Safran coming to India is like a gateway. Once you see that one big player is coming in, all the other players find the confidence to come to the country, and that confidence and the trust in Indian system is what this government has created for them. And Leasing Act, we have done it. And then flexible airspace also. Back then, the airspace used to be very restricted. From the country, there used to be a strict norm. This is civil aviation airspace, this is defense airspace, this is restricted airspace. Everyone was controlling their own airspace. And what was there left out with civil aviation was very, very small. So if there was a restricted airspace and from going to point A to point B, if it was not accessible to go use the restricted airspace, it has to go all around. When it goes all around, imagine the fuel cost that it takes, the time that it takes. And it was Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji who made defense, who made the intelligence, who made the civil aviation. Everyone sit together, all the technologies that are there, everyone had to sit together, collaborate, coordinate, and come out with flexible airspace. So even if it is with defense, at that time, civil aviation can request that I want to use this airspace for the passengers, for the commercial purposes, and they give their airspace. So what used to take probably 30 minutes or 40 minutes over gets covered in a very shorter time, and that cuts down the cost of the plane to operate from one point to another point. That also reduces the cost. This is again playing into the fact that relatively, taking inflation and the CPI, you might even feel that why would it be that the prices are still 43% lower than before? Because of these kind of things. The interventions that we have done to keep the airfares down, there are many things which are in tandem, multi-pronged approach which is going on. So this is why we have kept them in this thing. And while I say this, I've talked about many things that are there. While I say this, there is also the second point. Let me go to the second point. This won't be taking much time, but convene a joint meeting with airline operators, representatives of the people, and all other relevant stakeholders to discuss the issue of excessive airfare during the vacation seasons urgently. This has been mentioned. And accordingly, I have mentioned that the Kerala Gulf in October 24 itself, we have done it. That was because this was placed on the time. And Honorable Speaker from the chair has advised that you have to meet the airlines, and we have taken meetings with the airlines, all the stakeholders, and we have taken it as a very proactive measure, and we are doing it every month. Every month we are sitting with the airlines. We are telling them what the festive seasons could be, what could be the airfare in that specific month. We are coming out with guidelines. We are coming out with instructions to keep them at this thing. And then the third point is establish a quasi-judicial body to regulate and monitor the air traffic ethically and equitably. To regulate, I've said that the government already has the power in extraordinary circumstances. Whenever it feels it is going out of bounds, then we have the power. And for monitoring, we have the tariff monitoring unit. We are making it more powerful. We are, in fact, including it in the aircraft rules also, so that it carries a certain kind of statutory provision for it, and that is going to strengthen, madam. And with all this, the only points that I want people to think about, one is the bottleneck of the aircraft availability. Second is the viability of the airlines. We all feel that these are companies who are charging a lot of money, but none of them are making good money. So most of them are in losses. So that is also one consideration that we have to keep in mind. And also, Competition Commission of India and High Court, they have said that the fare should be deregulated. Multiple times they have given judgments. Competition Commission also advised that the airfare should be deregulated for competition to prevail in the industry. And all this, our most important responsibility with civil aviation is safety and security. No matter how much this commercial angle, how much the pricing, everything comes, our first priority is to take the passenger from one place to another in a safe and secure way. So safety and security is the topmost priority, and we are building these airports not only for today, but for tomorrow also. No matter how much politics or political items the opposition tries to bring, we are very committed for the people of this country. If it is not there, then it won't be that 3 times in a row, one man would have become the Prime Minister of the country. That is because we are all walk, talk and work for the people of this country and for the common man of this country. And that is going to continue, keeping intact the passenger rights, safety and security of each and every passenger who is flying in this country. And that is the commitment from the government and from the civil aviation. Thank you very much. Now I would request from all the points that I have addressed, I would request the Honourable Member Shafi Parambalji to withdraw his resolution.
Member may like to reply.
Sir, despite of having all those measures and despite of you claiming to have taken all these actions, I fail to understand how an airline can charge 65,000 rupees from Srinagar to Delhi when the Pahalgam terror incident was happening. When the country, 26 lives was brutally killed by the terrorists in Srinagar, when people sought to move out from Srinagar, when whole country was in trouble, it was like a war-like situation. When the country was at war, the people who intend to move out from Srinagar was charged 65,000 rupees to Delhi, just one-way ticket. So I seriously raise a concern, despite of having all these measures what you've explained, despite of having taken all these initiatives have you mentioned, how could they charge 65,000 for an economy ticket for a traveler who is trying to move out from Srinagar in situation of a terrorist attack? So all these actions must not step in after the chaos has happened. We must regulate them prior to this chaos. That is what we demand through this private member resolution, sir. That system must be in place. Sir, like every one of us said, air travel is not a luxury anymore. We all know that. It is a necessity now. We cannot skip away from that fact. A student returning to his home after college, or to college for exam from home, or a migrant laborer coming back home after 1 year or 2 years of hard work, or a child coming to see his parents who is sick, or a family who is settled abroad or working abroad with 2 or 3 children, coming back to home for a season vacation, just 15 days or 1 month in a year to see their old-aged parents. How about them being charged 4 times or 5 times or 6 times? And how about they spending all year earnings just to take a ticket back home, ma'am? Who must regulate this? Yeah, it is market fluctuation, it is market driven, it is open sky. But now we learn that it is not just open sky. While we say open sky, what has happened in India is duo sky. It is Indigo sky, it is Air India sky. 92%. So where is the foresight? Where have we gone wrong? Ma'am, this is not just Indigo crisis. I must say this is governance crisis also. I must say this is governance crisis also. Because I have learned that the pilot association themselves have warned about these regulations initially. And I have heard members from either side has warned the government about the situation which may arise in few months of time, to think about what has happened. But now, even the pilot association, maybe off the record, they contact and say that there are chances of this being a pre-planned disruption, sir. Thousands of flights being cancelled in a single day. It's not my word, sir. Sir, this is what is happening here in India. Sir, lakhs of people stranded, thousands of luggages missing, delayed, treatments delayed, functions delayed, exams, even UPSC things. We have read so many stories. So what was the role of DGCA in foreseeing these things, while allowing them to have more schedules declared, more winter schedules declared, while asking them to have more pilots? What was our role to ensure that? What was our monitoring to ensure that they have done enough? Why didn't we bother to cross-check that Indigo or whoever is the player has made themselves ready to face the situation?
Oh, yeah.
Instead, all of a sudden, and not just in December, sir, in November itself, there were hundreds of flights cancelled. We got the warning sign much earlier. We have got the written letters much earlier, cutting across political lines. So DGCA, are they supposed to be the silent spectators of all those things? And after all this chaos happened, and after all these troubles happened, and after people paying 35,000, 40,000, 42,000 a one-way ticket for a distance that normally they used to pay 8,000, 9,000, only then we could step in? Sir, you said extraordinary situations. They are trying to make these situations very normal in each and every case. That is the biggest problem. We can understand government involving in an open market only in extraordinary situation. Sir, you yourself mentioned here, you rightly mentioned.
Okay.
So I just started, sir.
Start है क्या?
हाँ?
तो end कब करोगे फिर?
I just started, sir.
No.
Seriously, I just started.
लास्ट में केवल विषय के पर कोई विषय बंद हो तो उसके लिए
Strictly to the topic, sir. Nothing outside the topic.
नहीं वो तो कुछ बोल भी नहीं सकते, आप बोलोगे भी तो बोलने कैसे दूंगा मैं?
Sir, strictly inside the topic.
हाँ, तो इसलिए टॉपिक पे बोलोगे तो टॉपिक के इधर तो बोलने भी कैसे?
So we all may have to take ticket in future.
No.
On our own cost. Everyone of us.
ना अभी भी लेते हैं टिकट
Sir,
तो.
this is a very serious issue.
लेकिन खत्म करें 6 बजे
Sir,
वाली.
we have time, sir.
5 मिनट और.
Now you rightly mentioned, sir, the Mahakumbh. Delhi to Prayagraj. Sir, 32,000 rupees a ticket, one way. You had to step in. You said you stepped in. But how could they charge it like that? So where is this agencies? What are their roles in enforcing all these things? What are their actions in stopping them doing this exploitation? After charging so many people so higher a price, people had to pay, then only we could involve. That means a regular system must be in place, not just for the extraordinary situation, for the extraordinary exploitation these airlines took up, these airlines
ज्योतिराज
come
सिंधिया जी,
forward
आप भी
with.
कुछ बोलना चाहते हो? आप भी विचार व्यक्त करना चाहते हो क्या? नहीं नहीं, मजा, अच्छा इंटरेस्टेड सब्जेक्ट है, बोलो, थोड़ा बहुत विचार व्यक्त कर देना। होने दो, कुछ गिरिराज जी को टाइम हो रहा है तो थोड़ा नमस्कार देर तक चलेगा तो ठीक रहेगा।
Sir, I mentioned the Pahalgam terror attack. Sir, I mentioned the Pahalgam terror attack. Sir, what is the justification? It is not a seasonal issue. This is not an indigo crisis. Sir, what is the justification for an airline charging 62,000 rupees from Srinagar to Delhi when 26 of our lives were lost in a terrorist attack, when everyone intended to help the nation, our own airline company was exploiting the situation? Yes. This is a crisis exploitation. Sir, they must be penalized. Sir, I'm coming. I don't know why you are disturbed about it. Sir, I must say, sir, that arrogance must be grounded. That arrogance of exploiting the crisis must be grounded. Sir, why I was forced to bring this as a private member resolution? Sir, I am coming from Vadagara. My constituency is Vadagara in Kerala. Sir, there are so many migrant laborers who work abroad. They work for two years a stretch, and when they try to come back home during the vacation, the charges are not just once, twice, thrice. It goes skyrocketing, sir. When the fares are sky high, our regulation hits the rock bottom. That is the major issue. So, sir, whatever mentioned, sir, Speaker is not allowing me to speak much. Sir, whatever suggestions, whatever actions you have, you told you have initiated.
माननीय सदस्य, ऑनरेबल मेंबर, आपको किसने बोलने की इजाजत नहीं दी? नहीं, आप ये बोल रहे हो मुझे बोलने की इजाजत नहीं दी है।
Sir, I am talking right now.
बोलिए, आप बोलिए, जितना बोलिए। ये बोलो।
Sir, in light of one of the worst operational crisis, I kindly request Honorable Minister to ensure that there is a capping for sectors, or at least for kilometer wise. There must be an upper limit. Otherwise, this won't stop. Because we will involve only in extraordinary situation, and they will make use of that, and they will continuously
ये बात तो सही कह रहे हैं माननीय सदस्य।
And second thing, as Honorable Speaker, when I presented initially also, Honorable Speaker directed the Minister to have meetings of the stakeholders. I thank you for the meetings that you held. But, sir, as stakeholders, no organizations from the community or from Indian associations over there, they were not invited. They are the most important stakeholders because they suffer this. We have to hear them patiently. Those people who suffer this, they must be given a patient hearing. And, sir, the third thing,
रूल 178 178
अच्छा, क्या
15 मिनट से ज्यादा वो बोल नहीं सकते सर। यदि आप इजाजत देंगे तभी वो ज्यादा बोलेंगे।
इजाजत मैंने दी है उनको। मैंने इजाजत दी है।
and sir, And sir, about the third point, and about the, sir, sir, sir,
आप डिस्टर्बेंस मत करो इनको.
sir, and about the third point, about the tariff monitoring units. Sir, about the tariff monitoring unit, you said that it's already in existence. It's already into play. Sir, how about having a quasi-judicial body which can overlook into these facts, these things, and which can monitor things which before the chaos happens? Sir, there are so many issues, all other members, as the minister rightly informed, every member felt emotional about this issue because it is affecting a large number of people throughout the country. Millions of people are being affected. Sir, for every single thing. They charge 20,000 rupees for a ticket and they additionally ask for 1,500 for a seat also.
Okay.
Sir, one more point. One more point. The existing unit, the existing mechanism is not helping us to prevent the chaos. So my request to Honorable Minister is to establish and declare a cap, at least a higher limit on this specific things about sectors. Second thing, when you said the stakeholders thing, please ensure that our NRI community, their associations, we can go through the embassy itself. They are being heard. They are not heard. Please declare a meeting of themselves to countries respectively, if you have time or if you allowed some time. And third thing, please, I kindly request to declare a quasi-judicial body to stop this looting, crisis exploitation for once and all. Thank you, Speaker Sir, for the opportunity. I'm a first-time member of this August House.
आप पहली बार के सदस्य हो, लेकिन आपने बहुत अच्छे ढंग से विचार रखा.
Sir, my constituents, there are so many migrant laborers who are suffering this.
Address
my people from Vadagara. So for them and now everybody has learned that this is not just a Pravasi issue. Everybody started feeling the heat.
Okay.
Those who are traveling inside also. So whatever we have already is not necessary. Sir, when I met you, you told about the point of call for Kannur Airport, development for Calicut Airport. If more airlines come to play, you yourself told more airlines come to play, a point of call facility is not being given for Kannur Airport. Calicut Airport development also being requested continuously before you. If such thing happens in time, more players may come and we can have a reduced price. So on such issues also, I know who will be pressurizing this.
Conclude.
So they are pressurizing us too far away.
Honorable member,
so please involve in all those things.
Sir, most of my reply, because Honorable Member, whatever points he has made, before also in the beginning of this, when he initiated the discussion, he has made these points and very clearly he has mentioned all these things, and based on that I have given the reply. One thing is that airfares has multiple aspects surrounding to it, and the government is taking a multi-pronged approach dealing with it. And when it comes to the airfares, the capping of it, the higher limits, definitely we are revisiting it. We are seeing how they are being, that is why I said the TMU, whatever the highest airfares they are doing, we are monitoring them. And we are discussing with the stakeholders, airlines, on how they decide it and what it should be. The government is continuously involved. And coming to the point of discussing, engaging with associations, the ministry keeps a very, very open approach. Whoever wants to discuss, let it be an association, individual. We have multiple layers within our ministry and our system. We'll continuously engage, and internationally also. Internationally, when it comes to having this point of call, it is a bilateral issue. And it's not just a point of call that you can give it for Kannur to the entire world. It depends on which country you want to have a point of call with and how it is. And also, they also giving us the necessary point of call from the other country. And especially when it comes to Kerala, and he has multiple times raised this issue on various forums also, and likely so, because there is the need of the capacity. It is not only, I would like the member to also understand, it is not only about capping the airfares. Because capping the airfares, there will be 100 seats that are available. You want them to be a certain price. Agreed, you are getting it. But there are 1,000 people who want to travel. What about the other 900 people who can't travel? We want the capacity to increase. We want the capacity. I'm not shying away from the fact that the airfares need to be reasonable. One, we also need to understand that there are more people who want to travel. That is why the demand is so high in that sectors. That is why we want more airlines to come in. I've explained how we are doing it. Honorable member comes from Kerala. There are many people who are there, expats living across the world, especially in the Gulf. I would encourage him to reach out to his constituency, people who are there. Please tell them to start one airline also. Increase the capacity. The government is facilitating for that. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, one thing, sir. With my, I'm withdrawing as per the practice of the House. I'm withdrawing as per the practice of the House. But sir, what you told, sir, even if half of the carrier is free, seasonally they are charging higher fares. That is happening to Kerala. Even when half of the carrier is free in seasons, they are charging too much. They are making this an opportunity.
नहीं, माननीय सदस्य सदन भी मानता है कि माननीय मंत्री महोदय ने जो चीजें सदन में एड्रेस की जाती है, आपने एड्रेस करें या प्रश्नकाल में या कभी भी, माननीय मंत्री जी गंभीरता से उन सारे विषयों को लेकर चर्चा करते हैं और सभी माननीय सदस्यों से जो भी व्यक्तिगत मिलता है उससे भी और सदन के अंदर भी वो कोशिश करते हैं कि जो माननीय सदस्यों की भावनाएं उन भावनाओं के अनुसार एयरलाइंस काम करें।
So sir, let's not hope. Otherwise, let's hope this situation does not arise next season also. Whether we want to discuss it all again. So let's see whether these actions might result as per the practice of the House. I am withdrawing, sir.
आप ले लिए?
ये विड्रॉ कर लिए सर, विड्रॉ।
प्रश्न ये कि श्री शफी परिमल को अपना संकल्प वापस लेने की अनुमति दी जाए। जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में हैं कृपया हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य विरोध में ना कहें। मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ, हाँ वालों के पक्ष में हुआ। संकल्प लेने की अनुमति प्रदान की जाती है। सदस्य अब अपना संकल्प वापस ले सकते हैं। ऑनरेबल मेंबर,
I'm withdrawing the resolution.
थैंक यू। सभा की कार्रवाई सोमवार दिनांक 15 दिसंबर 2025 को प्राप्त 11 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।